Hi, Hope family. I'm coming to you a little bit early today. We've been doing some recording and everything is all set up, so I thought I'd go ahead and begin early. I'd like to talk for a few moments about getting back together as Hope Church. One of the fun things is, though we've not been meeting, Hope Church is alive and well. I think, that Hope is not the building. Hope Church is the people. And over the years, we've actually met in a wide variety of places. We started off in our home. Deborah and I were renting an old home in the South Side, and we started in that place. We moved to the Lions Club. It held about 50, 60 people at most. And then we moved to the YWCA downtown near the library. That let us grow larger, then to the hotels, major hotels downtown. We finally were using all their space. Once we had trouble getting booking at a hotel, and we paid for everyone's way to go to Eagle Mountain Lake to a private beach, a commercial beach. And we had a 20-minute worship service and then partied all day long, baptized people and had a big party and barbecue. We've met a variety of places. We finally were able to purchase the current building that we have and get that built in. Most lately, our change up in worship has been via Zoom. We've been able to utilize the internet connections during this time that we're supposed to be socially distanced and try to stay healthy, but keep up connection with each other. And Hope Church is alive and well. I've heard good things coming from people in different places about keeping connected by phone and the internet, and also helping each other out. We will be meeting again for worship. And trying to figure that out has been a challenge. We've had different worship formats over the years. If you've been here in Hope a long time, you've seen worship change depending on the size of the group and what we felt we needed to be doing. Worship is actually meaningful to church on several different levels. God made people to interact with him. And so he made people and he made them to interact with him. Whenever we get together and worship, there are all kinds of things that really take place. One is our interaction with the Lord, but then in the community of God's people, there are a large number of things that take place in a worship service. The way we are in life, human beings, we divide up knowledge into categories like theology, psychology, sociology, anthropology, business, communication, education. Whenever we meet together for worship, there are actually things happening on all of those levels. God made reality. The Lord is aware of far more about psychology than we know. But for him, it's all one. He made reality. He runs it. We partition things in order to learn them more clearly. As we move forward in hope, we will be meeting together again, and we're going to be trying to do the thing that's pleasing to the Lord and that helps each other on all these levels. The principles are going to be the same, but our challenge is how on earth to sequence things so that we can get back into a rhythm of worship and rhythm of church services and rhythm of helping each other. Let me ask you the question. What's the difference between an interruption and a disruption? Well, an interruption stops what you're doing, but once it's over, you go back to doing it. A disruption may change what you're doing. We've had both actually in the past at Hope. Interruption would be, for example, an ice storm. We've had those. We've had to cancel services, and then once the ice storm is gone, we resume what we were doing. We've also had a disruption. Actually, we've had a couple of them. We've had a couple of storms that tore up the roof on the building. And we couldn't simply go back to what we were doing. We had to change it around. One just destroyed our offices, and we had to move to a segment of the kids ministry area for all our staff. They were all cramped into one big room. And worship service had some big buckets sitting in it to catch leaks. Things were just, they were different. We were kept on doing what we were doing, but it had to look very different. The COVID has been a disruption, not just an interruption. Someone described it like playing a video game. You know, if you're playing a video game and you need to go get a cup of coffee, you can hit the pause button and get your coffee, come back, and then resume right exactly where you were. If something goes wrong, though, a disruption, then you have to reboot. You have to start all over again. And as we move back to worship services, we're actually moving forward into a sequence of things that are just going to be different. We're going to reboot. We didn't hit the pause button. We did postpone things, but we have to reboot a number of things. We're figuring out how to do the reboot. The reboot is going to have to go through stages. We don't have a schedule for you right now, but I just wanted to outline for you what's on our hearts, what we're thinking about. We're going to have to go through stages. We'll have to stage our return to the worship services in our worship gatherings. We're going to have to stage it by different segments of people. We want to please God fully, and so we want to cooperate with the government to the extent we can. We also want to love people wisely. We don't want people unnecessarily exposed and getting sick because of our worship services. Right now, there's a great deal of uncertainty about exactly what the COVID virus is going to do. Is it going to go away in the summer heat, or could there be a brand new blossoming of it? So we're going to move forward in a sequence of things. We're going to start with the people who are at least risk. So my wife and I, we're in the at-risk group due to age and all. So we won't be at the first worship services. And I would encourage you, if you're at risk, just join us by dialing in on the internet, and we'll have worship online. But we won't be at the first worship services. Our kids and students ministries are going to be delayed. We don't know exactly how long. For one reason, younger kids, they don't social distance very well. They do what kids do. Then two, cleaning for them is going to be a challenge. So we will hit a day where all the ministries are functioning again. But for a time period, those ministries will be delayed, and we'll figure out how to move forward. We anticipate a staged return to worship gatherings and operational church life. The challenge is how to sequence getting there. So please pray for us. We're working on it, and we'll have plans to you before too long. Meanwhile, Hope Church is alive and well. You guys are the church, and you're the ones through whom the Father is working. You're the ones in whom he's working, and you're the ones that he has drawn together to be his people in Hope Church. We are connected, and we're all pressing forward, and we will reboot. So stay in touch with the Lord personally. Stay connected with each other through the internet, by phone, and help each other out. And stay tuned for more on the reboot process.